Hey guys, the Sports Entertainer here, back with some more wrestling news. During a recent episode of the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy podcast, Matt shared some backstage details on how the Hardy Boyz WWE NXT return came to be, making it clear that everything came together at the last minute. This was a very last minute thing, I think. It's cool because everyone knows that TNA and NXT have this partnership right now. TNA and WWE. I think it's going to continue to expand a little bit, but it has been so beneficial to TNA. It has also been very beneficial to NXT, and I feel like just over the last little bit, probably after Fraxiom showed up and they watched us defend the titles against the Rascals, I would imagine probably the wheels started turning from the powers that be, and again, I don't know all the details on all these things. I'm still talent, brother. I'm washing my hands of that. I'm not booking, I'm talent. But I think there was some interest there. So the fact that we are able to step out and get in the ring with other teams and kind of give them a little bit of our rub that we have, and they kind of help us because they're a younger team, and they kind of keep us relevant in 2025. It's a win-win. So really excited about this, and I'll tell you, I am training for a fight this week too, because in facing the two guys that we're facing, they're both legit badasses, so we're going to have to be ready to rock and roll whenever we step into the ring in Cincinnati. Even when that happened on Tuesday night, that little video of Jeff and I that was on NXT that had only existed about an hour 45 minutes before that. It hadn't been long. This is not something that had been long-term planned out. I mean, it was very spur of the moment, and that kind of makes you feel alive. It reminds you that you're alive. It kind of gets the adrenaline flowing and pumping a little bit, and it's been fun thus far, and I'm excited to see where we end up going with all of this. Jey Uso is closing in on the biggest moment of his wrestling career as he looks to become a world champion come WrestleMania. And during a recent edition of the Off the Top podcast, Jey's father and former WWE superstar Rikishi firstly spoke a bit about Jey Uso deciding to challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania this year. I felt Jey made the right decision. There's history between him and Gunther. After not getting the job done in 2 opportunities, this means something now. You're getting the 3rd time to crack at this thing here. But the only difference is that it's on the biggest stage of them all. So I don't see anything else but the best performance ever from Jey going into WrestleMania. I mean, we've seen a lot of great matches from Jey with his brother Jimmy, tag teaming and that history. We really kind of opened our eyes when, during the pandemic, you had this kid here with him and Roman when they had their little dance-off together, going as a single. That was the first time Jey was introduced to being a singles competitor due to his brother being out on an injury. It was there that I saw the skills of Jey to be able to adapt in front of a crowd that's not there but on the TV screen. Rikishi continued by talking about the rise of Jey's Yeet chants in WWE, and emphasized that Jey's success and rise in the company is about more than just the Yeet chant. Can you imagine how hard that is to perform during a pandemic in an arena full of TV screens, and to be able to carry the weight of the company during that time? Those that perform day in and day out every week, knowing that there was COVID out there, but they went and put their bodies on the line, jeopardized their family by being out there. They could possibly catch something, take it home to their kids. But no, that didn't happen. They went out there and did what they were supposed to do, to be able to entertain and perform for the world during these times, these dangerous times. So my point is this: Jey was prepped up all the way. This just didn't happen because of Yeet. This happened because they saw a kid who was loyal, who put in the work, and who you hardly ever see or hear anything negative about this kid. His drive was to be able to say, okay, I gotta prove something. To himself, not to the family, not to the company anyway, but to himself as a pro wrestler. Can I do it? Step out of the shadows of my brother and be able to get out there, perform, and make a name for myself. There's some truly sad news to report, as Chicago wrestling legend and former AEW heavyweight champion Eric Priest has passed away at the truly young age of 50, with AEW Wrestling taking to Twitter to announce the sad passing of Eric. It is with great sadness that we report former AEW Heritage Champion and Chicago legend Eric Priest has passed away. Eric Priest was a staple of Chicago wrestling for many years, and ruled the early 2000s as the guy in Chicago. He helped many along the way and helped shape what pro wrestling in the Chicagoland area is today. Whether you knew him as the underwear model or the gold standard, he will be missed, Everyone at AAW sends their condolences to his family and friends. He will be truly missed. Among those who reacted to Eric Priest's passing was former WWE superstar Mustafa Ali, a wrestler notably from Chicago. Eric Priest was instrumental in laying the groundwork for the Chicago independent wrestling scene. Rest easy, brother. Now we send our thoughts and prayers to Eric Priest's family, friends, and fans during this difficult time. Rest in peace, Eric. Now, there's some surprising news to share with you guys regarding CM Punk, Tony Khan, and the company AEW as a whole, as it was reported just a couple of hours ago that former AEW star and the brother of Dolph Ziggler, Ryan Nemeth, has officially filed a lawsuit against CM Punk, Tony Khan, and AEW, with Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful taking to Twitter to report Ryan Nemeth filed a lawsuit on February 14th in California against AEW, Tony Khan, and CM Punk. The complaint is for assault, breach of contract, breach of implied covenant of good faith and fair dealing, and intentional interference with prospective advantage. More details coming to Fightful. WrestleTalk provided a good summary of Ryan Nemeth's lawsuit against CM Punk, Tony Khan, and AEW. Former All Elite Wrestling talent, Ryan Nemeth has filed a lawsuit against the company, CM Punk, and AEW CEO Tony Khan. During his wrestling for AEW between early 2021 and late 2023, reports emerged that Nemeth had potentially had issues, including a confrontation with current WWE star CM Punk, real name Phil Brooks, who was also with AEW at the time. Now, as first reported by Fightful, Nemeth has filed a lawsuit in Los Angeles Superior Court with AEW, CM Punk and Tony Khan listed as defendants. The lawsuit claims that Khan had a deep personal affinity, bordering on an obsession for CM Punk, and that when CM Punk allegedly assaulted Nemeth, among other incidents, AEW and Khan didn't punish Punk appropriately, and instead, the entire situation damaged Nemeth's career. The suit claims that Khan blames Nemeth for CM Punk's AEW departure, and that Khan has used his significant resources to make sure that Nemeth can never again make a living in wrestling. During a recent episode of Busted Open Radio, Hall of Famer Bully Ray revealed that he feels the WWE don't need The Rock for WrestleMania 41 this year, and also emphasized that there's going to come a time when the WWE need to stop relying on these big-name legends like The Rock to, in a sense, save their ratings. You have all of those people there, and The Rock is available. Do you want The Rock to come? Of course you want The Rock to come. But with all those people there, do you need The Rock to come? You don't need him. Do I want The Rock to be at WrestleMania? With as entertaining as The Rock is, and with what he can do for someone, of course I want The Rock there. But this year, do I need The Rock there? Absolutely not. Is The Rock going to get them a significant amount more of investment across the board? I believe what they're doing now in WWE, they don't need him for that. There's going to come a time in WWE when they have to stop relying on The Rocks, Austins, Undertakers of the world. Now, WRKD Wrestling have added fuel to the speculation regarding the WWE possibly planning for Cody Rhodes to turn heel, and that CM Punk's recent comments that the Undisputed Championship is changing Cody is planting the seeds for a Cody Rhodes heel turn. CM Punk planted the seeds weeks ago that the WWE title is changing Cody. Could we see Rhodes sell his soul to The Rock, leading to Rock, helping Cody do whatever it takes to retain the title against Cena at WrestleMania? The Rock has been on the receiving end of this before. During a recent interview with the Toronto Sun, former WWE Women's Champion Natalya shared her thoughts on Michelle McCool's Hall of Fame induction this year. Well, it's funny because people would ask me like, hey, did you know that Michelle was going to get inducted? And I had the day before she got inducted, or the day before she got told the news that she was going to be put in the Hall of Fame. I was texting her the day before. We were talking about, I'm working on a project right now, and I was talking to her about our tables match. I was like, we had such a good match, and I wish we got a ride off of that momentum. We were just talking about the struggles. We were texting back and forth a little bit about just about the struggles that we had coming into that era. When I debuted, it was against Michelle. She was my first rivalry in WWE. I can't remember the last time a woman from the Divas era was inducted. I know it was Tori. I know it was Stacy. They were more from the Attitude era. Of course, Bull Nakano last year, she was from an era before the Attitude era. So this actually puts a really cool spotlight on the women from the Divas era, and I'm grateful that I was able to be a part of that era. I'm so excited for Michelle because she was somebody that wanted to do more, and she's somebody that fought for the women's revolution before. It was like we were ready for the women's revolution before it was ready for us. Women like Michelle McCool, women like Beth Phoenix, women like Mickie James, women like Melina Victoria, Jillian Hall, women like Cherry, women that didn't always get the attention, but those women loved wrestling, and they were fighting for more. So Michelle, it's really cool to see her kind of lead the pack in this induction. Well guys, that's it for today's major wrestling news. Make sure you leave a like and comment, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on, so you'll never miss out on an episode. Finally, if you haven't already, give us a follow on Twitter at TSE Wrestling, and we will see you guys in the next video.